and welcome to another episode of the Hoppy Craftsmen. I'm Jeff.
I'm Chris.
And we're drinking cider.
At
Cider Corp.
in Mesa, Arizona.
Chris is so happy right now.
I am. We're in the place that I hope at one point my selfish dream of becoming a craft beer mecca, drink mecca, I guess is kind of happening. Destination?
Yes.
I'm hoping.
Downtown Mesa, Main Street.
Yeah. Like I said it multiple times that the downtown Mesa area actually has awesome architecture, and it has basically a lot of antique stores that need to go away that can be filled with craft beer places.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking. So, and food, more worth takeaway. I'm okay with that.
Yes.
The cool thing about here, also, we probably shouldn't fail to mention it's obviously locally owned, operated, veteran-owned and operated. Very, very strong military, veteran-themed place. I mean, looking at a whole slew of grenade tap handles. All the cider names are usually based on what we veterans know as ICHIO alphabet, but like your Alpha Bravo, Tango, Charlie stuff. So,
Did I hear a niner in there?
I think
you on a walkie-talkie?
and you might hear somebody laughing with us. That would be one of our guests for today.
Hi, I'm Jessica, lovely Lady Hops on Instagram, longtime Patreon supporter of Hoppy Craftsmen.
Yes.
So one of the most important people.
Yes, one of the most important people in this room, for sure. That means that you're also not just Lovely Lady Hops on Instagram. What else are you on?
Oh, not yet, but getting there. I am actually starting my own podcast called Crafts and Curves. It's to highlight women in the craft beer and food community in Arizona.
Very nice.
So this will be the last show you're on since you're now competition.
Yeah, right.
But you can still give to our Patreon.
We can cut all that out and post now.
Yeah. We're here by ourselves, guys.
Yeah.
Just go ahead and mute your microphone all of a sudden. It's weird.
Wait, what happened?
She just was like, this isn't working. We're like,
Yeah.
I can't hear me.
Maybe you should contribute more so we can fix our equipment.
Hey, I have my own tier now, so it's okay.
She does.
Yep.
Actually named her name now too. Instead
right.
of my witty naming convention then.
I mean, I still really like Murky She Wrote.
I thought it was great too.
That was good.
Thank you.
That is
Thanks.
good.
It was good until I got out Patreoned.
It's true. That
That'll
happens
happen.
a lot. Yeah, ask his wife about that. Cena knows all about getting out
Or
Patreon.
Paul Gelato, that asshole.
He does that too, which made me laugh completely when he did it.
God.
I was like, oh, Paul's going to have his own tier at one point.
The,
Don't-
crazy.
the
don't
cutthroat world of Patreon support.
Don't give Paul Gelato his own tier.
We might have to with the way we butcher his name every week.
Just because of his last name?
Yeah.
You were part of the gelato tier?
Just call it #gelato.
He's used to it, though.
That's what you said. That's awesome. And then Nate was a little upset that we kept butchering it, and I was like, no, it's okay.
You keep butchering it.
Yeah, that's what
the
we were
whole
told.
point.
Yeah, that's what I was told we needed to keep doing that. If we didn't do that, then he would be upset.
Yeah.
So, done.
I'd
Done
be
deal.
upset if you guys didn't butcher it.
Perfect.
And I donate more money than him, so my opinion matters a little more.
That is true.
Boom.
Everything wrong with the world today. Money gets you power.
In this Patron world, it does.
Yeah, I'm fine with that here.
Absolutely.
In this context, sure.
Yes.
Awesome. So are you just lining people up for guests, or what are you waiting to do? Are you trying to get things rolling? Where are you at?
I
in the
finally
process?
got all of my equipment. Finally, it took forever.
So when we say a lot of times that it does cost money to do podcasting.
It does.
It does,
costs,
right?
It costs money to make a podcast as much as people want to think that it doesn't. But
It takes money to not make money.
Yes, exactly. It takes money to inform the people about stuff that they may not want to know about. But I have to start lining people up. But I've gotten in touch with a lot of people, a lot of women specifically, because it's not just going to be women that are on just talking about their stuff. I'm also going to have like guys on talking about women in the craft beer industry and stuff like that, and their feelings about it, and how they want to see more of it if they do or if they don't, or
Yeah, with their opinion either way
yeah,
is
just kind of general opinions about.
The women in brewing thing and the focus on women, it's cool, but and you see a lot more of that, which I'm happy about, but I'm also kind of unhappy that there's like this movement to like kind of, bring women to the same level that men are on, because it should be a level playing field. And I mean, if you're the kind of person that's like, oh, well, it's like a women-owned brewery, or the head brewer here is a woman and all that, and that influences whether or not you go there, then we still have huge problems.
Yeah, and I mean that has no Like, I go to breweries just because I love their beer. If I like their beer, I'm going to come to your brewery,
Right,
whether or not
exactly.
you have a dude brewing or a guy or a chick brewing. But for me, I think there's so many badass women in brewing that don't really get talked about as often. So I feel like, and like I said, I'm not just going to have women on interviewing women. It's going to be men too. It's all inclusive.
Sure.
It's not just me talking about women and how they're super cool and way
Yeah.
cooler than dudes.
But that's
That's
cool.
true.
Yeah,
They are.
and
I agree.
I think even on this show, we've interfaced with a lot of the women in the brewing community, and they're all super cool to hang out with. They're very good at their craft. They're very good at what they do. So good on you for bringing that to the forefront and having your format. And again, not being exclusive of men, but yeah, it's a cool thing that more and more people are doing this and putting that focus on the women that are doing really amazing things that may still be getting overlooked because of the Neanderthals out there still, 2019 people that are like, oh, female brewer, I'm not going to go try that out.
Yeah.
Hey, more for us, right?
Right, exactly. And I mean, there's societies out there like Pink Boots. They're doing some really great stuff, and the beer that they brew is amazing. But I mean, so is everyone else's.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think that goes to what Jeff was just saying. Like the Pink Boots, it's obviously a women-centric organization, but they don't really throw that in your face. They don't really say like, oh, we're a bunch of women doing this. No, it's a society. It just happens to be all women. And like you said, when you kind of point out the fact that it's male or female, you kind of still add that
You're excluding-
stigmatism.
you're
You're excluding them.
one or the other, right?
Yeah, and
So-
the last thing we want to do is segregate anybody. It's because everybody loves beer. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman.
Right.
Just make good beer.
It's kind of like the whole argument, and being at Cider Corp, it's like, oh, and you hear it in here, it's like, oh, I brought my wife here because she doesn't like beer, or somebody who doesn't like beer. The whole wine argument, like, oh yeah, my wife drinks wine, and we've seen it here, like for Valentine's Day, people are like, oh, here's a beer and wine pairing. It's like, wait, what if both people want beer, or what if both people want wine? It's like, yeah, don't put that stigma on gender just because you don't assume my gender.
Yeah, there you go.
Wine's gross. I'll tell you that. I think it's gross. I'd much rather drink beer than wine any day of the week.
See, I'm back. I mean, well, I'd much rather drink beer, but I do like some wines. I've definitely gone through like wine tasting things and been like, I don't like that at all, and I like this. So I've definitely found ones that I like. It's kind of like how craft beer was. It's like, it's a thing of I just tried enough at some point that where I was like, okay, I do like this one. But most wines I'm not a big fan of either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's.
that's how it works. These are just too dry.
I'll drink champagne, but I won't drink wine.
Woo! With some orange juice in it.
Yes, mimosa.
Like a splash, like a drop.
You just throw an orange by it real quick.
That's enough.
Yeah, that's super enough. Anyway, so Jeff's having a flight over here, which he's
almost done.
done with. What was your favorite on that flight list, Jeffrey?
I haven't tried the tangerine yet, but I came here for the Pog. For anyone who's not like down with Hawaiian stuff, Pog is like a staple juice in Hawaii. It's pineapple, orange, guava, and if you fly into Hawaii, chances are that sometime along that flight they're going to give you like this little cup of Pog juice, and it's amazing. So Pog IPAs had like a big showing. I think Belching Beaver and Maui did one a couple years ago. And so I was all over those. So now that I see, a local cider place is doing a Pog cider, I had to jump on that. And I had there's like a cherry cinnamon one, maple bourbon, apple cider. What special forces? There's like a peach apricot, the Pog, and a tangerine. And yeah, by far the Pog is my favorite, but no surprises there.
Very cool. Ed, what do you got in there? Ed's got to look.
I'm drinking the CFT.
You motherfucker. That's
Is
what
that
I'm
what you
drinking
got?
too. That's what I got
Damn
too.
it. Ruined that part of the show.
That one was good.
It said it was black cherry and cassia bark, and I was like, ooh, that sounds interesting. I want to try that.
Yeah.
So
And all these sound sweet, but they're not. I mean, a lot of people hear cider and they think, oh, it's going to be
Syrup.
overly sweet and thick and overcarbonated, but these aren't Apple Orchard.
Right. That's what I love about this place is,
Apple Orchard.
They don't.
Or Apple, what is it?
Angry Orchard.
Apple Orchard.
Apple Orchard.
They come from an apple
That's
orchard.
true. Trademark. Make your own cider now and call it
Yeah,
Apple Orchard.
Apple Orchard.
I mean, these are, I think, like you said, these are like how like meat is, right? Everyone thinks of meat and you think of sweet. So like the same with cider, it's going to be sweet, but there's different styles and different things that they can do with cider, and the things they put inside the cider is amazing, right? I mean, they've had dry hopped ones, they have tons of fruit ones. They have actually a couple of, speaking of wine, a couple of wine ones up there as well. They have some slushies, which is pretty awesome for us in the Arizona heat.
Yeah, they say they have a Dr. Pepper slushy one right now.
I'm just going to want to try that.
Honestly,
Yeah,
that
well-
might be the next thing I get.
We'll have to have one for Nate. Since
Now to
he's not
say
here.
Nate's going to be super pissed.
I already messaged him. I was like, oh, sorry you can't come, but there's a Dr. Pepper slushie. And then tear face.
Yeah.
And then laugh face. So, Jessica, what of your flight that you had, what did...
that I had.
Yeah, what'd you have?
That's gone now.
She crushed it.
It's hard not to crush these. I had Private Palmer. They're a prickly pear one. It's really good. It's a tea and then prickly pear infused.
Oh, okay.
So it's
That's a little
delicious. I'm really bummed that they don't have Lady in Pink right now because that's my go-to here.
I do like that one a lot, too. That's probably one of my
It's
favorites.
so good.
The Lady
From what I've heard is they weren't having issues with it, but they couldn't get the consistency they wanted out of that one as far as like color. And
Yeah.
I think it was mostly like a color and consistency in the fruit.
Okay.
So I think the two sangrias, because they have the
red and the white.
sangria
Yeah.
and the white sangria, those I think are designed to replace that Lady in Pink.
Gotcha. So they just took that base and then they...
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's cool.
I can get on board with that. I also had Semper Vera Pog. The Mango Foxtrot has actually been my favorite of everything. It's mango and then rose hip. It's really, really good.
Huh, that is interesting.
It's a little sweeter than I thought it was going to be, but it's not like crazy sweet. So
Okay.
I dig it. And then I had Special Forces.
Hey,
Yeah.
very cool. Yeah, I'm going to have to do that slushie. Nobody got the number 14, which was the secret squirrel. That's really odd. Why'd you guys
Strange.
Can't get it in a flight.
Yeah, you can't put it in a flight. That's the bummer part.
Oh, I didn't think that was why you guys didn't get it.
Oh,
I was,
must be the big beer part of that.
Yeah, it
They
could've been
can't
the
come
big-
in a flight.
I mean, I saw Four Peaks and I didn't really want to try it.
supposedly it's good. We don't know. I haven't tried it. It's hard to...
I've tried it. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the Four Peaks version is called Squirrel Secrets or
Yeah,
something like that.
Right, yeah.
So
That's what they were telling us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Woody, or Strong Beer Fest.
Strong Beer Fest, we talked to Josh and we went into a little bit about the thought process of getting in with Four Peaks. So
Yeah.
but we're going to try and have Cider Corp actually come talk for themselves instead of us doing it. So we'll save that for a later show.
100% true. Well, good stuff. So, Ed, do you want to get into the Jessica's hasn't been on the show really ever, so we should actually do the rapid round with her.
Oh, the not so rapid, kind of rapid
Dun,
round?
Yeah.
dun, dun.
Well, Ed's streamlined it, is what he said. I think that's what it was worth to use for me.
Yes.
I feel like I'm mentally prepared for these questions, but now I forgot everything.
Right, that's how it's like when you like order food and you're like, "Where's order pizza?" And then you call them, you're like, "Hey, what do you want?" And you're like, food.
Yeah.
Send me food. Pizza. I want pizza. Do you know where I
Pizza,
live?
bro.
Shit. I'll call you back.
Yeah.
Click.
Enjoy your movie. You too.
Yeah, all right. That's the word.
All right. So the first question is, what is your moped beer or your guilty pleasure beer?
Hams.
That's not that's
that's like-
unacceptable.
Why is that not acceptable?
'Cause hams is completely appropriate, and you should never be ashamed of hams.
I know, but I get made fun of a lot for drinking that.
Yeah,
But
so do I.
I fucking love it. It's
Chris
so
makes fun of
good.
me for drinking hams.
I do.
Anytime they have it when I'm at Wandering, I get it. And I feel like I get a round of applause.
I think, well, at the minute, that's a very good audience just for that. But I think, see, I'd like a hams if I was at Wandering Tortoise and it was like the shit beer of the week and I got a hams and I was just like, I'd be super excited to get that beer. All the rest of them, I'd be like, fuck, why did I do this? I'm so stupid.
I always feel silly because sometimes they have the 16-ounce cans in the cooler at Tortoise, and I'll go and get one. I'll just set it in front of me, and it's like all these amazing beers, and you got a 16-ounce can of hams
Wait,
to
they
drink.
make hams in 60-ounce cans?
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. Oh, God.
Yeah, when I was in, I think, Oregon, the local grocery store had 4 packs of 16-ounce cans of hams.
I'll say this. After we did our experiment, I do like hams better than PBR. I'll say that. It was better.
I
Very
mean,
true.
It's not really a contest, is it?
I mean, it could have been. I don't know. I've never. It's been long since I drink PBR too, so I was like, ugh. These both could be equally awful. Nope, this one's just
Oh,
not
God.
slightly less awful, I think.
I think
That's
there's
just
a
me.
rumor that we had heard too many times that they were the same beer. So we put that one to rest and we did a side by side, and it is definitely not the same
blind,
beer.
It is
blind
not.
taste test.
Blind taste test.
Blind with a professional brewer. So that's a
Well, I
scientific
mean-
study.
I don't know if I'm about to say professional. I mean, you're talking about his brewing or him personally? Wait, Jalen listens to this. Never
Yeah.
mind. Oh, sorry, super
He's
professional.
going to cut you. We didn't say his name, so
That's true.
you're safe, Noel.
What else you got over there, Ed?
On the opposite end of that spectrum, what beer would you decline under any circumstance?
Coors probably.
The banquet beer or the
banquet
No,
beer?
Banquet's good. Banquet's good.
fancy.
I will differentiate that right now. Banquet is delicious.
So you're saying
and I
Coors Light.
Let's put that rumor to rest.
Coors Light. That's all my family drinks, and I can't. If there's no beer there, and all I have between that and like apple juice or water, I'm picking apple juice or water. I'm not drinking fucking Coors Light.
I know. That sounds.
They stay hydrated, and I applaud them for that. But
There you go.
outside of that, I will not drink that beer.
Interesting kind of random fact while we're in here, and I don't mean to hijack, but I saw an article yesterday that Coors came out with a tap handle that they're putting in beers that whenever it hears a Bud Light commercial or any Budweiser commercial, it lights up and it dispenses free beer. So say what you will about Coors, I love them for that alone.
Yeah, if I was Bud Light, I would buy a whole like block on a sport, like a football game, and just replay the ad over and over.
No shit, right?
It's just extra petty, and I appreciate it. I can commend them for that.
Like, what if it's like Hulu that's on? Because they play like the same commercial each break on Hulu.
Right.
And it's like just the same Bud Light commercial, and that thing just starts.
Ooh, that backfired, didn't it?
Yeah.
I was watching like I think we talked about it before, but I think I said Hulu or Netflix or whatever, and it was actually the AMC app or the TV app, and it played the same stupid fucking corn syrup commercial. Like it was like 9 of 9 commercials, and it was all 9 were the same fucking commercial. I was just like, oh my god, this is why I hate fucking streaming TV services sometimes.
Right.
Bullshit. But yeah, that one's dumb. I think we talked about this. I don't care. Either way, your beer sucks. Your beer sucks. You don't care if you make it with corn syrup or not. It's still awful.
But it's brewed the hard way.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to filter the water out of the piss of a Clydesdale?
Bravo. For the record, I do not. Because everyone's wondering.
Get him on the show.
Yeah. Good
And
lord.
I think, well, or maybe the last question: what should never be in a beer, Jeff?
Everyone knows my answer to this.
Is it Clydesdale you're in?
That's a good answer. Yeah, I would.
Yes.
Bud Light's gonna have to rethink their marketing strategy if they take that out. But
No, that'd be Coors Light strategy. We use corn syrup, but
Yeah.
we don't use Clydesdale piss.
there you go. That'd be a good.
Awful.
So urine. That's your answer. You're gonna stick with that one.
I mean, I know a lot of people say glitter, but like that beer that I brought you, that From the Deep, that has glitter in it.
Looking at
Does it
you,
really?
looking
Yeah.
at you, Wes.
Yeah.
I knew it, Raleigh.
No, we might have to defend that now, right? Since
No,
we're such
I'm
a
all
rally.
for it. I saw that barley wine yesterday, and that shit looks delicious.
I mean, it's a very personal question. I just want to know what happens after the fact.
I was gonna say, there's probably no doubt when that exact beer is passing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I want to know.
These
like a
pipes
disco in
are
there.
clean.
Why does it look like a stripper came apart in my bathroom?
My son's gonna come to the bathroom. He's like, "Why is the lights off? You have a flashlight, Dad." I'm like, "No reason. Don't worry about it."
I'm just looking for reflections.
My wife's just gonna walk by and just shake her head and keep walking. She doesn't even ask. She doesn't even care anymore at this point. Nope.
Nope.
I don't even want to know.
Yeah.
I mean, you shit disco balls. It's fine.
Yeah.
So nothing to do with genitalia should be in beer.
Correct.
Amen.
We've established that.
Yeah, don't put your balls in beer,
We'll,
please.
we will.
Thank you.
We will also establish this over and over again. That's how this
Do you
works.
have a problem with? Is there a consistent issue with people
No,
putting
it's-
their balls in your beer?
No, it's the one thing I can think, because I'm the kind of guy that's like, I'll try anything once, but if you hand me a beer and say my balls have been that, it's like,
Well, yeah, they have
congrats.
to tell you after the fact. If they tell you before, then you're not going to want to drink it.
guess it depends on the person.
It's
You're
a rule of
well.
thumb.
Too funny. All right, guys. Well, I think we should probably get some refills. That's still got a whole half a glass over
I'll finish it by then. Make sure you get something different than me this time.
Yeah. What are you gonna get this time, Ben?
I'll probably get the Dr. Pepper slushy.
Damn it.
We're all gonna get.
We're all three going to
Yeah,
get the same fucking thing.
I need to try that.
No.
All right.
Get some
well,
slushies.
then we can all just take a picture and send it to Nate.
There you go.
Perfect.
And my daughter. My daughter's she crushes on Dr. Pepper just as bad, if not worse, than Nate. So
DP23. Never gets old. All right. Jessica, I know you said at the beginning of the show where people can find you on social media, but go ahead and say it again and throw it out there.
My personal Instagram is Lovely Lady Hops. The podcast, if you want to follow it, we don't have a whole lot of content on there yet, but we will soon. It's CraftsnCurvesPodcast on Instagram, and it's an N, not and.
It's not and. N.
It's an N.
N.
We're getting
I
street.
tried to be clever, and now it's just going to be impossible for people to find me.
You should get both. You should have a backup account. That's what people do, right?
Yeah.
That being said, I would like to thank you for being a supporter of the show for so long. It's super cool that you're doing your own thing now too, which is awesome. We'll definitely support that. But thank you for supporting us and saying good things about us and wearing the awesome shirt. See, she wore the shirt today.
I have my matching tattoo.
And she has her matching tattoo.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, right.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Sort of. Sort of. It's kind of the same, but not the same.
Sweet.
It's a bit
cool.
different.
I didn't steal it from her. I got
You better
inspiration.
trademark
It's
that logo
inspiration.
quick, Chris.
Yeah. Right on top of that.
Yeah. Hire a lawyer and get a trademark going.
I'll have my cease and desist promptly.
Right?
I'll frame it.
Just going to the tattoo shop from here and getting a little registered trademark added to it.
Just a very small TM in the corner.
But no, thank you. Thanks for being on the show and thanks for supporting us.
Thank you guys for making such awesome podcasts. Thank you for getting me through my workday most of the time.
We try.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Most of the time.
Let's get a drink.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We've taken a break and we all got different drinks so we could have a diverse conversation about what we're drinking. Chris, what did you get?
That's a fucking liar. It's number 12 on the board. It's called That's a Fucking Liar.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't see that up there,
no.
but sounds good.
No, this is the Dr. Pepper slushie. We weren't lying when we said we were all going to get it.
Yes, we all got the slushy.
It's delicious. It
Yeah.
tastes like,
Tastes like frozen Dr. Pepper.
yeah, boozy Dr. Pepper. It's great. I'm in.
I would say it's actually better than like the icy Coke you get at the movie theater.
Right.
This is
Yes.
closer to
Right.
its soda counterpart than
Yeah, I can do
that.
I like it. I already got brain freeze once, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, we'll
for the
see.
show.
First one to get a brain freeze on the show. Let's see.
And Jeff just won.
Oh, dear God. Cut to commercial.
We do have another guest, by the way.
Different guest.
And-
Still same pink cord. So
Same, but different guest.
Yes, different guest. Another Patreon supporter, a new Patreon supporter.
The newest patron
Yeah,
supporter.
the newest.
Maybe we just call me the Patreon supporter.
Yeah. No, we're not. We're
We
not
don't want to use your real
doing
name.
names
We
anymore.
don't want to use your real name. This is-
Introduce yourself.
I'm Anthony Bracamane, longtime Mesa resident, probably one of two natives in the state.
Yeah, you're sitting next to the other one.
Yeah, me and Ed.
I'm like, wait a minute. You're sitting next to two non-natives, so it's okay. It makes sense.
A native Arizonan and a non-Spanish speaking Mexican. That's like two unicorns at the same table.
We got
Yep.
two non-Spanish speaking Mexicans here.
Well, holy shit. I'm gonna go buy
Like
a
a-
lottery ticket.
Like a vortex right here.
You're only half, so
Yeah.
Then it's well, okay. Well, as I say, then your unicorn is taken away, but
yeah.
you still find that.
Ed will
I
always
guess.
be my unicorn.
Thanks, Jeff. I think that brain freeze really got to him.
I think you this happened already. And then you've been here for a little bit. What did you have previously, and what are you drinking now from them?
So previously I had the, I already forgot. Oh, the Private Palmer, which I've had before, and I think
Nice.
it's delicious.
Yeah,
So
it's with tea, right? It's a tea one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like Arnold Palmer.
And the lemon. Yeah, it's an Arnold Private Palmer, Arnold Palmer. But now I have the Sempervera, which is their dry apple.
Okay.
So, and I usually always like the dry apple. I think I've had this before as well. Ed doesn't think I have. Maybe I have. I think I picked up
Ed
a
just
growler at
shakes his head
the Divided Vine out in Gilbert.
Okay.
So they always just tell me what to get, and I say okay.
You just shake your head. That makes sense.
That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, Clayton, just pour one.
Well, he does have a unique kind of relationship with Cider Corp because his wife's allergic to everything. So cider is basically the only thing she can drink nowadays, right?
Basically, so she's become madly in love with Cider Corp. Ed delivers it every few Sundays to the house.
Wow. What the hell, man? How do I get that service?
Oh, yeah.
That's a
well-
completely different tier that's not associated with this podcast.
Ed Dash.
Basically, yes. Ed and Cena Dash. So
Goober Eats.
Hold on. It's Cena. That's who it is. It's
Yeah.
not Ed. We know. We know the real story here. It's Cena.
she's sweetie. She's probably like, Ed, just pick it up for him. Come on, they're gonna like it. But yeah, she's allergic to basically everything. She started really, really liking beer. So we got big into German food, and she just loved German beers, clean beers, wheat beers, which I'm a huge fan of. So we were having a good time for about a year, and then she realized she was really allergic to not necessarily gluten, but wheat, and then a lot of citric acids, which are preservatives in pretty much everything.
Oh, yeah.
So to kind of kick that craving for the tart and the citrus flavor, love ciders now. So Cider Corp's been huge for her.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's kind of a good. I mean, you said it's like it hit both those good things.
And cider is gluten free. I think this is
Naturally.
even organic.
Ooh.
for the most part. I mean, you have to pay to actually put the organic stamp on stuff, but it's probably the healthiest as far as alcoholic beverages go, if you're allergic to stuff. But
It's true. And I haven't had really too many good gluten-free beers that are that delicious.
no, I went to a brewery once in Florida that they were trying to be a gluten-free organic brewery, and they gave up on it because they're like, it's too much of a hassle. Like, it's
That
so
makes
hard to actually get that like stamp that you need, and I mean, it's a lot of money. So
Okay,
anybody who
yeah.
pays for that kind of stuff, I mean, it's a government thing, so of course you're gonna have to pay for a sticker or stamp, whatever, and
No.
probably jump through all sorts of hoops. So
It's brewed the hard way, Ed.
yeah. Speaking of which, have you guys seen that new commercial of Bud Light saying they don't use preservatives?
No.
Now that we're talking about
no, I haven't.
citric acid and stuff, yeah, they're talking about like we don't. It's another one of those old timey commercials, and the guy's like, it's supposed to be like a wizard, and he's like, yeah, we can make Bud Light last forever with preservatives, and the king guy's like, we don't use preservatives, but hop is a preservative. So are they saying they don't use hops in their beer?
Isn't
Barely any.
isn't alcohol a pretty good preservative?
Yeah, I mean it's antiseptic, so
That's why I'm still up today. So
like, isn't that why the IPA
Preserves
came
everything
to
but
be?
livers.
Supposedly, that is the story of
Like, they over hopped it so they could ship it on
To India.
ships to India,
Right,
and
right.
it would stay preserved. So
Yeah.
which I'm halfway through a book on that to see if that was actually true or not.
you haven't got to that part
I
yet.
haven't finished it yet. That was like a year ago.
That's one of those things where it's like, if you've ever homebrewed or you looked into the lore of like a pale ale or an India pale ale, that they were just like ridiculously hopped to last the trip from England to India or whatever. But there's a lot of people that dispute it, and there's a lot of people that say no, it's true. So
I don't know.
the world may never know.
Well, give me a few months again, and I'll maybe finish that book. And this guy basically he's trying to prove it. It's the same thing. He's like, nobody's ever really knew. Like, it was always like this thing where everybody told you that's what it was, and it's the stories you've always heard, and people are like, no, that can't be true. It's just good marketing. And so he's like, you know what? I'm going to brew a beer in England. I'm going to brew it there, and I'm going to basically ship it on a boat to India. And so the hardest part of doing all of it wasn't getting the beer brewed in the same style with the same water that they used to do back in the day. It was actually the shipping, because he's like, no boats go directly from England to India anymore. So he had to like make a barrel of it, ship it to France, get France to get freighted to South America, then South America come across the sea around Africa, and then get another thing to go to India, actually. So, but I haven't got to the point where she said it actually tastes the same, it's still good. So we'll see.
So stay tuned for Chris's book review.
Yeah, my book review will come up.
It's probably just something lame, like like the world's first like crazy hop head. It's like, no, make it hoppier.
Right.
That's a little better, but no, more hops. And finally, they're like, okay, finally, ship this shit to India.
Just Texas. There's a Texan that's hanging out in England. Make it bigger and better. Some more hops in there.
More hops.
What are we gonna do with all these hops? Fuck it, put them in the barrel.
Yeah, put them in there. Yeah.
I'm not gonna throw them away.
All right, so you ready for the rapid round, Anthony?
I'm ready for the wraparound.
Are we gonna just ask him questions about beer just in general?
Yeah.
See if how fast he can answer them.
Yes. Ready?
Let me get Siri out real quick so I can ask her.
No cheating. There we go. That's better. All right, so this might be an interesting question because he drinks a lot of crap beer. What's your guilty pleasure beer?
Right now, it's the Four Peaks Golden Lager. I love that one. It goes down easy. It's easy to get. They have it in 15 packs, and I love texting Ed to tell them that maybe they don't use corn syrup in it. Maybe they use rice syrup. I don't know, but it's awesome. I like that one.
Yeah, and that's all the time we have for Anthony.
This is a quick segment. All right, thanks, man.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the show. Thanks for
Hey,
support.
you said guilty pleasure, and I threw it out on the table.
Yeah, that's a
already.
good guilty pleasure. I would not want to be around you when you're drinking that.
Oh man.
Have either of you had golden lager?
It's a golden lager, I think.
No.
I don't think I've had a Four Peaks beer since the big buyout.
Really?
And again, I mean, I don't really harbor any ill will or bad blood towards them, but
You don't seek it out.
my whole thought process is when you make the alleged sum of money that Four Peaks did off the buyout, then there's a lot more places like Wilderness, BRI, Wren House. Those places need my money more than Four Peaks does, and
Cider Corp.
yeah, and there was a marked difference in the quality of the beer after the buyout. from what I hear.
I would
And-
agree. Hence Golden Lager.
Yeah, and I got so burned out on Kilt Lifter that I mean, Kilt Lifter is a good kind of gateway beer. I've turned a lot of people who were Budweiser drinkers on to craft using Kilt Lifter, and I started on Kilt Lifter. It was a really good Scotch ale, and I had like a very major Scotch ale period in my craft beer early days, and that beer just, I don't know if it was me because I had too much of it, but that beer just kept getting markedly less drinkable to me. So, and again, there's a lot of beers out there, and nothing against Four Peaks. Like I said, I'll sit here and look anyone in the face and say, if someone showed up on my doorstep and said, "Hey, we're going to give you $500 million for your brewery," there isn't a single soul I know that would say, "Nah, not
No, I'll
interested."
pass.
Yeah, I'll take it.
How's that brain freeze working for you, Chris?
It's pretty awful. Wow. I'll say, keep drinking it. Wait, it's delicious. So I keep drinking it really fast, and then my brain turns to ice.
It's really distracting. Jeff's trying to make a point, and Chris is sitting here pointing to his forehead.
And I'm rubbing my tongue on the roof of my mouth.
Yeah, press your tongue on the roof of your mouth.
Yeah. It sort of worked. I don't know if that's actually real or not.
All right, I don't think that there's an answer to this question, but what beer would you decline under any circumstance?
Oh gosh, you almost nailed me with one with no answer. It's got a green bottle. What's it called? I've avoided it ever since. Grolsch.
Oh, gross with
Grolsch.
a little Buddha bottle.
Is that the? No, that's Buddha. That's
Buddha.
That's Lucky Beer.
Yep.
Oh, is that
That's Lucky
different?
Beer.
I just remember an ugly green bottle with
Yeah.
the flip
Usually
top.
has a swing top lid. Well, no,
Yeah,
I think
they both have swing
they do
tops.
that.
The bigger Grolsch do. They have pop tops and they have bigger ones.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Grolsch. I'm not a big fan of Grolsch.
It's a
But I
weird-
mean, I
like-
wouldn't really decline it though. I mean, I don't say no to a beer. So
I try to avoid most beers in green bottles just because
Yeah.
there's like a 99.9% chance it's skunky.
Well, he's staring bullets at you now because he's a huge Rolling Rock fan.
well, no, and I think that's the reason I hate it. I think it's skunked out, and I think it's because of the green glass.
Yeah.
I mean, I drank it, and I was like,
Yeah,
this
all the
fucking-
like
this is
like
trash.
try bringing Heineken home that isn't skunky.
Yeah.
Or Carlsberg.
Yeah.
And I've had a couple that weren't skunky, but yeah,
They were in
speaking of
cans.
bringing the unicorns back into the conversation, it's really hard to get a beer in a green bottle that's not skunky.
Yeah, and I think that's why Ed, you pointed out Rolling Rock might be another one of my guilty pleasures, but I think I stick to the cans now when I get those. But I
didn't
mean,
even
when
know
you're
they've made Rolling Rock in
oh,
cans.
you
yeah.
can get like 30 packs, 60 packs, 58 packs. But when you're doing lawn work and pool work, I mean,
Rolling Rock was a lot better when they had Jim Gaffigan as their spokesman.
It's true. It's before they got bought up.
when he
too.
was a nobody.
And then they moved it. They moved Rolling Rock from where it was being produced.
Yeah.
In Indiana, right?
Latrobe.
Yeah, Latrobe, right?
Yeah.
What's the 33? I never get that.
33
Yeah.
on Rolling Rock?
Yeah, there's a
I
33
don't know.
Rolling Rock. There's a whole.
Maybe it's ingredients.
Could be.
I read that story too, and I can't recall.
Oh, man.
But I was like, what is this? I Googled it.
Yeah. I don't know.
New
Well,
segment.
it's not like we couldn't
beer
Google
trivia.
it right now, but
All right,
we're not
I'll-
going to.
I'm going to.
Oh,
no,
Chris
fuck,
is going to
fuck
Google
you, dude.
it.
Just keep talking. I'll find it.
All right, Anthony, what should never be in beer? What ingredient?
Oh, geez. Whatever's in Grolsch should be a good start.
Don't put Grolsch in beer,
But
and don't put Grolsch in cans or bottles.
so Ed's brought a lot of beers over, and I think they've had a lot of good ingredients in them. Just off top of mind, like something I wouldn't want in my beer would be maybe like liver, like a liver pate,
Right.
or like foie gras, that irony meat flavor.
Yeah, I
Could
don't
you
get
imagine
I
the
don't get those beers
separation
that
on
like
that?
they did what they did like a goat brains beer.
Yeah.
I've seen lots of oyster beers, which is,
Yeah.
but it's like don't put seafood or meat in
Yeah.
my beer.
We'll go back to the IPA discussion, right? Like anything that'll just fester and kill me if not properly cared for, I don't want that in my
Right.
beer.
Yeah, if this beer turns, you're gonna die.
Yeah. I hear blowfish is
Yeah,
good
I
if
was
it's
gonna
if
say.
it's made properly, but that's one of those things I am just have zero curiosity to try because it's like if the dipshit behind the bar doesn't know what they're doing, pretty sure you're gonna die.
Yeah, could you imagine how expensive do you think a pint of blowfish beer would be? Like $1,000?
Probably.
Just throw some gold flake in there, and
Right.
Gold Flake.
because people
It's
eat.
like Goldschlager. It's a Goldschlager beer.
Yes.
That's what we should do. We should talk about doing a cider with these Goldschlager.
Yeah. It's a Goldschlager glitter blowfish cider.
Oh, God.
Don't they have a golden apple? It could be like a golden Schlager apple fish cider.
Well,
I'm in. Let's do this. We can talk to somebody. Where's Josh at when you need
Yeah.
him? Okay, so the Rolling Rock
As long as the fish is one of those like the cinnamon gummy fish,
Right.
Yes.
then okay. But
Swedish
anything else, no. No, Swedish fish are different.
Swedish fish are great.
Swedish fish are good, but they have like these. They look like Swedish fish, but they're cinnamon.
Ugh.
So the Rolling Rock 33, there's a bunch of different things on here. Nothing really pins it down. So they were founded in 1933. They believe that the original brewery had 33 steps separated the office from the brewery floor. 33 degrees is the temperature at which Rolling Rock is brewed.
I like that one.
Yeah, each of the brothers who founded the brewery loved and owned racehorses. They flipped a coin to see whose horse would be featured in the bottle. The winner owned horse 33.
I call bullshit on that one.
Rolling Rock's first brewmaster once said that there are 33 steps involved in going from water to beer. The 33 salutes this craft. Yeah, there's like this is their website. This is Rolling Rock's website, by the way. So it's not.
Oh, they have them all on the website?
Yeah.
They were 33 when they made their first $33
Yeah.
and 33 cents.
They said that there's 33 words in the greens that make up of a beer.
Oh, Jesus
You count all the
Christ.
letters. Yeah, there's a bunch of crazy stuff on here. Yeah. So
There's 33 different strains of marijuana were smoked in coming up with that list.
there's a 33-word quality statement on each bottle of Rolling Rock.
Oh, where's Nate when you need to read a bottle or a can?
Yeah, dude.
It's almost like the marketing team just kept working stuff in.
Pretty
Right.
much.
The lore masters should have paid better attention and wrote that shit down.
The Rolling Rock was founded in Pennsylvania, where Groundhog's Day is a very popular day. It is also the 33rd day of the year.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
what's that movie with Jim Carrey where like he just always sees the number that he wants?
23.
Is it
That's
23?
23.
Ah, damn. Could have been 33.
10 off.
Well, we're drinking Dr. Pepper, so 23.
There you go.
So number conspiracy.
If you want, you see it everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh, this is getting weird.
Welcome to a different
So
podcast.
here's the
Anthony.
big question. Are there 33 different stories for the number 33?
Oh, that'd be really good, right? They're not. There's not 33 slides in here. I tell you
Oh.
that.
That beer is 33 degrees from Kevin Bacon.
That's a great distance from Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, I would bet that's not true.
Yeah.
But
I mean, you don't know.
he
Prove it.
probably owns part of it or something.
I mean, we'll
He's
just
the 33rd owner of
as a
Rolling
bonus,
Rock.
as a bonus episode, we'll do 33 degrees of separation with Kevin Bacon, and we'll see if we can link that up pretty fast.
Hey, we could do that in the rapid round. What separation are you from Kevin Bacon? He's thinking about it.
He's like, my uncle knows a guy that worked on a farm that Kevin Bacon once ate at with waiter. No.
Now we'll have to think about that.
We'll come
We'll have
back.
to work that one out.
Yeah, let's see. Let's work that one out. Ed.
All right, so what do you want to do next? You want to do some news or you want to talk about downtown Mesa?
Let's talk about downtown Mesa, and then we can get into news after another break.
Okay,
That
we'll do
works.
that. So, my question is, do you think downtown Mesa is best suited for expansion in craft beer compared to other areas of Arizona? I'm asking anybody chime in here. Come on.
Well, we all know my answer, Ed.
Yes, we know
I,
you.
I could.
No, I know you want it to be, but do you think it's best suited for it at this point?
So my point, my always thought with it is that when you look at like places, one of the things we talk about brewers, right? When people come to even to Phoenix from like Tucson, everybody says that you go to San Diego and you can walk and hit 4 or 5 breweries in a row, right? You can do a beer crawl pretty easily. It doesn't take bikes, it doesn't take Ubers, it doesn't take cabs. Shit, the light rail, doesn't take that, right? You can literally just walk from brewery to brewery to brewery. I mean, you look at Bottle Logic, there's a brewery across the street and around the corner from them, right? It's like within a block of each other. We can't do that here. Name the number of breweries you can walk to, like down right now. This is the only place you can do that at.
That was my other part of that question. Like, is this the most walkable area in Arizona?
I mean,
Like, maybe Tucson, but even those aren't.
Well, look at. I mean, just yesterday, our buddy Matt Smith, he started his day by checking into Bottle Logic and basically rubbing it in our faces.
Right.
And then he hit like all these other breweries after, and it's like, and I mean, we could do that, but you either need, like I said, you need an Uber or a great DD or a better light rail, because I mean, we have a lot of breweries, but most of them are kind of off the beaten path of where the light rail stops.
Well, also the light rail's off the beaten path. Like, that
true.
runs through the backside of.
But again, I mean,
everywhere.
you look at the amount of breweries in San Diego County versus Maricopa County, and it's ridiculous.
Right. Just right now we currently already have that with the places you can walk here. You can Desert Eagle, you Oro, you can come here. We have 3 places that are craft beer places, cider, right? And there's like the recession that happened, and Anthony can talk about this more, but living here and seeing that there's a lot of places that were here that just kind of closed. There's a lot of empty storefronts, and a lot of them got bought up by other antique places that were here forever, and they just became bigger antique stores. And so my hope was always that some of the places that kind of come and go a lot of times will actually be filled in with places like this that are really passionate about what they do in a very small mom and pop state places, and they'll fill those places in. And be it food, be it like craft beer, I'd love to have more Wort takeaways. I mean, they make awesome food over there. I'd love to see more places like that, even down here. And fingers crossed, more craft beer, but...
Anthony's a newly converted Wort takeaway fan.
Yeah, I got the crispy chicken 3 times in the last
Beautiful.
5 days, 7 days, since last Sunday, 7 days. Yeah, since 7 days. I was at the office at work. I was like, hey, I'm going to go pick up lunch. We're in downtown Tempe. We're going to Wort takeaway. So just making up excuses at this point.
Look, the sun's in the opposite direction. I'm going to go that way instead.
Yeah.
So it's not blinding me when I'm driving.
But like growing up around downtown Mesa, I never came here. Even in my 20s, there was nothing to do down here. And you remember, Anthony, we never came down here.
We never came down here for food and beverage and entertainment. Growing up, I came down here a lot, before I was 21, 25, driving around getting F&B. But there's a lot of stuff that should bring you down here. They have a lot of music. They have the Mesa Theater. They have a lot of events. They have the Day of the Dead event. They have the Mesa Arts Festival. Their Veterans Day parade's incredible down here. So I think there's a lot of reason to bring a lot of bodies in. They need to be better at the walkability. And I think now's a good time for that because there's tons of places that can be, what's the political word for it? Reestablished or whatever. I forget what they call it.
I think that's called gentrification.
We got to gentrify this place real hard.
No, redeveloped. That's what it's called. So you have all these upholstery places and automotive shops and stereo equipment places between Country Club and Pete's Fish and Chips that could, this could be a great place for walkability. And Chris, you're talking about, San Diego, and you can fall down and land in a brewery there. We were there, 6 months ago for a wedding. Totally agree. But a place like this in Arizona, I mean, you just have so much square mileage, right? Mesa's, you got 500,000 people. You've got almost 200 square miles. It's a good place to take the light rail in or to hit a parking lot and then figure out how to get home. When you're doing those Sunday fun days, when you're doing the Saturday night crawls. That's something that's missing from downtown, though, is Friday night, Saturday night. Everything's kind of quiet, kind of closes early, and it is because of that lack of density.
Yeah.
So I think it's a good place, to get into now.
But that's the trouble too. Like up until the light rail, we've never really had reliable, efficient mass transit.
Right. No.
And that goes to like, not only were we spread out, but there's no concentration. Like there's no concentrated area in Phoenix. Scottsdale's tried it, Gilbert's tried it, but nobody is consistently going to one place. Like, nobody works in Gilbert. People live in Gilbert. So it's not like they're hanging out after work in downtown Gilbert. Chandler is more industrial, but Chandler's working on trying to get their downtown area, but it's like people aren't really staying down there either.
No, well, people are going, Gilbert, you look at Gilbert, Gilbert's kind of blowing up with all things that are going down there. So
Gilbert's trying to become the next mill.
But everything down on Gilbert is a new build too, right? So everything's new. It's just what it is. The thing I like about down this area is there's still some original architecture down there. Some very old architecture that's actually really cool. And people can kind of, retrofit themselves into that and still look like a downtown area is really cool. And parking's huge on here too. I used to go downtown Phoenix all the time. And then they changed their parking to it wasn't free anymore after 5. And so it's like, well, fuck that. I'm not going down there anymore. Where here, there's still tons of parking. It's public parking and it's free. So, and you said the light rail alone, you can jump in, light rail, park somewhere, park somewhere, get on the light rail, go home, and be fine. I know, and there's a lot of things down here if I was looking to build a place. Like you said, this is a good time to actually get into, I think. I don't think we're there yet, and my hope is that one day we will be there. Hopefully soon when 12 West gets down here.
I say, how close are we to 12 West being across the street?
Hopefully soon.
I think later in the year.
Right.
Hopefully. But yeah, because I was at Oro a few weeks ago, and there was somebody in there, and they were talking to the bartender, and they're like, yeah, we just rode the light rail as far as it would go, and we ended up here. So, right there, that gets you one more customer that you wouldn't have gotten if there wasn't the light rail out here. But
the nightlife out here is not as to be it's not great on Fridays and stuff. It's not.
Yeah,
kicking
people
down
go
here
to
at
the
all.
Mesa Art Center, or they go to the museum, and then they leave. They go have dinner somewhere else, or they go have drinks somewhere else.
There's just not a ton of late night anchors to get people down here, I think is what it is too, where like Gilbert has a lot of the nightlife happening down there, and Chandler was that way for a bit. But if this place can do some of that stuff too, I think people would come down here a lot more often.
Yeah,
Just because logistically wise, it's easier to get here and easier to like get out of here too. So
Anthony loves that Dirk Bentley restaurant, right?
Oh my goodness. It's the greatest thing that ever happened to downtown Gilbert and my life.
So, like, that's my question too. Is like, because you've seen that since you've moved from Mesa to Gilbert. Like, what's the thoughts on? Because Gilbert went from like this, their downtown went from like local, like super, like kind of farmish. Like they had, was it Joe's
Oh
Farmhouse?
yeah, it was Joe's Farm Grill, the farmhouse. I mean, Liberty Market was more modern, but it was still felt very chill, very low key,
that
very
Champion
mom and pop.
Sports Bar.
Yeah,
that's
it went from nothing to where
Champions.
basically Gilbert shut down at like 8-9 o'clock to now it's like a late night destination, and good luck finding parking. It's crazy down there. I moved to Gilbert in '96, and yeah, I mean, I know when to avoid the Heritage District.
Yeah.
It's blowing up, and I mean, hooray me, because my property value has skyrocketed, and I'm not complaining there. But yeah, downtown Gilbert is crazy, and it just keeps growing. Like it's everything spreads like wildfire. Now you got a culinary dropout, with like kind of like their big yard motif opening up, and that's just going to make it even more crazy. But they seem to be ahead of the curve from a standpoint as the parking's not going to be ready when everything else is, but they're at least aware that parking is an issue. So the parking, I think, in downtown Gilbert is a lot better than most places, but they're still kind of behind from a parking perspective.
I think I got put off of downtown Gilbert when we went to a birthday party at Whiskey Row, and there was like 17 bouncers in there. And it's like, this is not downtown Gilbert. This is like Old Town Scottsdale kind of horse shit. Like,
Right.
what's going on down here?
I knew it had turned that corner once they had the hot dog cart. You always, when all the drunk people get out, there's a hot dog cart. And I saw one in downtown Gilbert, and I was like, uh-oh, I got to start going home at like 11 down here. But just to pile on to their development and what they're doing. So they're parking. One thing they're doing good that you don't see a lot in Arizona because of sprawl, they're going vertical, right? So you're seeing more and more parking garages. I think they're building another one behind the yard.
Yep.
A client that we work with in my other profession, which is public relations and marketing, they're bringing to the valley like 2- and 3-story underground parking garages, and then vertical parking garages associated to their, condo developments, housing developments, whatever it may be. I think that's something you're going to see change too. Is like now that we've kind of sprawled out, we're starting to hit the point where going out and beating through more mountains and leveling out more area to build out. That's going to stop. So we should start redeveloping and developing more interior. And as you get that density, as long as the parking's there, as long as the the amenities and the things people want there, there's no reason Mesa can't have a good downtown. Gilbert can't have a good downtown. I mean, Scottsdale's obviously got a booming one. Chandler's trying to figure it out too.
It's almost nice because it's like the Gilbert city planners are kind of pumping the brakes on, everyone wants like space. And the thing that impresses me most is they have like that really big dirt lot that's kind of to the north of everything. And they haven't let that spot go because they know it's kind of like overflow parking, where as normally people would be like, yeah, we can make a shit ton of money by selling this and letting someone develop there and making the parking problem even worse. And like you said, you see more vertical parking going up behind culinary dropout and all that. So I'm optimistic that they realize that, I mean, it's still sort of a problem, but they seem to be a lot more ahead of that curve than most other places where they're like, no, just sell that property and let them build. Whereas it's like we have all this overflow parking and there's all these places that may not be the most ideal places to park, but you're no more than a 5-minute walk away from any of those places.
Right. And I mean, Mesa, like you guys said earlier, Mesa's got all the parking. It's just getting a few more places that are, is really just cool and interesting to talk about, if you will. As my wife would say, got to be on social media. People are sharing you. You got Worth Takeaway doing that. You've got Cider Corp. I don't hear much about Desert Eagle, but I know everybody that goes downtown goes to Desert Eagle. For me, another reason I come downtown, aside from the museums, is Gotham City Comics. I don't know how they're holding on. So I think they push a lot of inventory online, hopefully, but I want them there forever.
Right.
But you know, getting those people together to talk, to work with, you know, the planners, so that the first thing you're Googling in downtown Mesa is where are all these cool places to go to get that experience, to get that F&B. You know, just recently doing some research in the Valley, Google searches for downtown Mesa will return parking and then just a big list of like everything that exists down here, which is fine. But Gilbert, you know, like we were talking about, they'll pop up with the Heritage District. It's fun stuff to do. It's here's what's going on. So it's just making that first and foremost. And I think that's just getting everybody talking about what they're doing, which they are, but just piling it on. You know, piling it on from a marketing, from an internet perspective, so people know they can come downtown.
Right.
That's how I found. You know, that's how I found things down here.
I think that's what Gilbert does too. Is like, you know, like I said, there's a lot of things going on down here, but when you come down here and you see what's around here, you don't go, hey, I should come back there later tonight. With Gilbert, you go to the farmers market or there are events down there, and you see that stuff, and you go, hey, this Friday we should go out and do this, right? I know where we can go. We can go over here, right? With Mesa, you're like, there's not really much. There's not visually, you don't really see what's happening or what's going on, or places that would actually draw you back, come back, you know, as a return customer.
Yeah.
So,
And
you know.
I think the secret thing behind that too is how much the cities are behind
Right.
the development of, like, saying bringing craft breweries to downtown Mesa or Gilbert. Because I know to start, Gilbert wasn't a big fan of bringing in those like chain restaurants until the money started flowing in.
And
so you don't know what Mesa's like what the government or the city planners are like. Do they want craft places here? Because
Right.
we remember, Anthony and I, when they put all these stupid statues in downtown Mesa, we're like, what the hell did they do that for? Like, yeah, let's go see the statues in downtown Mesa.
Cultural, Ed.
Yeah.
Culture.
They're great for Pokestops now.
That's
There's
true.
like 1,000 Pokestops in downtown Mesa.
Yeah,
but-
it's a mess down here when you open up Pokemon Go.
Oh, man.
My kids love the Humpty Dumpty one across from the Natural History Museum. So we
That's what I want to see, because if you look on the sidewalks here in downtown Mesa, they have little footprints
Right.
that lead you to the museum and the what's the other
The Science Center.
the science center. I would love to see like a little drunken footsteps that lead to like the breweries or something, or like an apple trail that leads you to Cider Corp. That'd be pretty interesting.
That'd be
And that's easy. That's easy to do too. I mean, you could do that gorilla. Just get out there, Ed.
Yeah, I'll just grab a can of spray paint and some.
allegedly. I don't.
No, that would never. I would never do
Hypothetically,
that. Yeah.
hypothetically.
But if I were gonna do it,
This is what I would do.
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I need another slushy or cider here, and then we can come back and do some news,
Yes.
and then wrap this thing up.
Yes. And drink more cider.
Wrapping it up.
Wrap up.
So,
Wrap around.
Anthony, thank you for becoming the latest supporter of the show. I appreciate it. We'll do both hands. Wow, look at that. Two double handshake.
I see him
good.
all the time
Felt
out here.
good.
Wow. His hands are really cold. It was nice.
I'm freezing to death in here. I don't. As you can see, my lack of a beard. I'm freezing right now. It's so cold.
That happens.
Don't say we're not diverse. We had a beardless guest on the podcast.
That's a very rare occurrence. But no, thank you for being a patron supporter. Thanks for jumping on the Hoppy Craftsmen bandwagon and supporting the show.
Oh, it was
Thanks for
I
having me.
totally guilted him.
No,
Like,
no.
yeah, it was another guilt.
That's good.
Guilt
That's
trip.
I'm okay with that, Ed.
I almost signed up for the $5,000 tier to drink with you guys, but then I realized I've been drinking with Ed for like 20 years. So
Yeah, so I'm gonna
maybe
need
not the
that,
best investment.
$100,000.
Yeah, that's the problem is we have that tier, but most people who actually contemplate it realize that they've already been living that tier.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Living the dream.
All right, guys, let's get some more ciders. All right, guys, we are back. We have we actually all got a new glass of stuff, and
I haven't got mine yet.
Ed's still waiting to get his.
Yep.
Well, then I'm just gonna pause this and we'll come back.
Lynn.
I know you're missing comedy gold, Chris,
Coming to go.
or just comedy.
They all can't be cold, Ed. Sorry, that's how it works. So we all got glasses of beer. Or sorry, not beer. Cider. I always want to say beer.
Not technically mine's
It's apple beer.
It's apple. Yeah, I
Fruit,
like that.
fruit beer.
beer. No, it's because it's no hot side to cider.
Yeah. Well,
So would it be beer
it's
or
like
is it
mead.
wine?
It's like mead.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Mead wine. Yeah.
Learn all that stuff. Yeah, until we podcasted with Superstition, I had no idea that mead had no hot side.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that till you just said so. Wow. The more you know.
Thanks for listening to the episode, Ed.
But that's
So-
the thing is honey is supposedly like, I mean, going back to preservatives, honey doesn't spoil like ever. So it's kind of like one of the light bulb moments like, oh yeah.
That makes complete sense.
And then Jeff proceeded to pour like gallons and gallons and gallons and
I remember the
gallons and
pictures of
gallons
that
of mead
episode.
down our throat.
Like just looking at those flight boards.
And I will
Like,
do it again.
but mine's technically beer because it's made of wort.
Oh.
I got the Secret Squirrel, the collab with Four Peaks. So this might be my last show. I
Yeah.
might get kicked off.
You just lost your HCPC card.
Yep.
We're going to remove that for
Turn
you.
that in.
Yeah, go turn that in when you leave the show today. Oh, and he's spilling on himself. Damn it, Ed. Right on that rally.
On his Rowley farmhouse death metal, satanic metal Rowley beer Hessian shirt.
Like it. Like it a lot.
Like that, John. I literally called him a Hessian on our show.
John would like that. He doesn't know what that means, though. He doesn't understand Wes's ways, but he's okay with it.
And I'm okay with that as well.
Yeah.
Because technically I'm a Hessian as well.
I don't know what it means either. Ed, what are you drinking? What'd you get?
I told you, the Secret Squirrel.
Oh, he's Super Squirrel. Sorry. Shit.
I
listen to
don't
what you
listen.
say.
You don't listen.
I don't listen to what Ed says most of the
Is
time.
my mic muted?
Yeah. Wait. Are you saying words right now? Jeff, what'd you get?
I went for the full pour of the CFT, which is the black cherry cassia bark. So it's
So we had last.
it's like cinnamon cherry pie in a cup. It's so good.
That's what I had last round. Well, before the Dr. Pepper. That was I started
Yeah.
with that one. It's delicious.
Yeah. So I guess I have to revise my previous statement that the Pog was my favorite because I didn't go back for the Pog. I went back for the CFT.
Wow. And I got the Singin' Sangria Red because I wanted to try that. So it's pretty good too. It's nice. I like it.
And to update the counter, we all ended up with a brain freeze from the Dr. Pepper
Oh
slushie.
yeah. Yeah. At the end there, you guys try to chug it.
Yeah.
Brain
Mine was less brain freeze and more my fillings were like just
rattling.
drilling into my jaw. It's like, yeah, oh, there they are.
freeze. I still have those. It's weird. So Ed, we want to talk to some news. Some news.
News. First, we're going to start with an update, right?
Oh yeah. So
We talked about breweries looking into distribution in Arizona on a previous episode.
yep.
And we talked about Second Chance.
Right.
And we have never really heard about them, or I don't think anybody's had anything from them.
well, let's be clear. You and Nate didn't hear anything about them. I knew about them.
You
from
knew about them.
in Indie Beer Talk. I haven't had their beers. No.
Yes.
And then I think we looked at them a little bit, and it's like some of the stuff that was kind of weird. That was they're open in 2015, and then they're already moving into the LA market and the
LA.
Arizona market, and we're like, that just seemed weird. Maybe it was something like kind of a golden rule situation where they were just basically just building themselves to like sell kind of thing.
Contract brew.
Right. Yeah, just basically, build this brewery up, make a cool name for themselves, and then sell out as soon as possible. Make some cash on it, right? And one of our patron supporters, Brian Beagle from the Indie Beer Talk, messaged us on Twitter and let us know that. That's where I heard them from. I know that they guys love them a lot. And he messages basically just let me know or let us know that they're not looking to sell out. They're actually being very cautious about how they actually expand and where they're going, and that we should be super fucking pumped that they're coming to Arizona. So, with kind of a resounding, what do you got, like your recommendation from that guy?
Yeah, I mean,
do, so.
and yeah, you kind of sent me the text or the tweet that Brian sent, and that just made me more excited about it. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna keep my eyes open for some of that.
Well, and then I actually just saw, we were talking a little bit ago, I mentioned that you saw, Bonnie from Irene's Tap Room? She was actually wearing a Second Chance shirt, and she was super pumped about them coming. And if you listen to that show, her tap list, for one, is amazing. So her taste and what good craft beer is impeccable. So that she's super pumped about getting that beer in and having people in Arizona try it, and that she's really wanting to go to the brewery in San Diego speaks a lot as well. So it's awesome. So now I'm more pumped about it. So maybe listen to the show. You should be pumped about it.
Yes. So bring Second Chance. We'll just let us know where to find it now.
Yeah, right. Looking for it. So very cool. But yeah, I just want to kind of like clear that up a little bit. So when we listen to the last episode on this one, they can kind of get a better update on that. So cool. What news we got, Ed? What's going on? What's going on in the beer world?
Do you guys like lagers?
I don't gravitate toward. I like them, but it has to be. I have to be in the mood for it. And again, I mean, I'll gravitate towards a lager more towards when it's hot. Obviously, outside, kind of like that crisp lagery. Yeah. I don't typically seek them out, but I do enjoy them from time to time. And there's just a time when, pounding a nice cold lager in the summer seems right.
I'll say this. I like Mexican lagers more than I like American adjunct lagers. Like when it's like you said, it's hot out, and I just a little bit of some lime juice in there and some salt on the rim to help kind of muddle that taste of actually all real what that lager is.
Yep.
But it's clean and it's refreshing, so I love that. So it's just better tasting freaking Corona, is my opinion.
So in Arizona, who pops into your mind when you think lagers? What brewery?
I'll tell you what. State 48, man. They make nothing but lagers in that place.
That's what I was going to say.
Wow, me too. Like
Wow.
I know Pedal House has an award-winning gold medal lager,
What?
but
No.
I mean, who goes there for that?
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're talking about, Ed.
So what we're talking about is there was an article in a Scottsdale publication that was talking to one of the owners of State 48 who made some bold claims of being the only place to find lagers in Arizona, and you haven't really seen Arizona lagers for about 2 years since they started doing them, and all sorts of, I would say, misrepresentations about lagers in Arizona.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's really funny because I mean, here's the thing: is that you could have said something like, "Oh, we probably make the most lagers in Arizona," or "We're very lager focused compared to other breweries in Arizona." I mean, it literally says this. Simply put, this is quotes. Simply put, State 48 wants to be the pioneer of Arizona lagers, right? And so you're like, what?
Do they know what pioneer means?
In the sentence, the paragraph before that, it says, "We're the first Arizona brewery dedicated to lagers."
Which is probably true,
Possibly true, right?
considering their newest tap room is going to be all lagers. But
Right.
I don't know
that's
how.
a toss-up. Like, how are you dedicated? Because, I mean, I would say Pedal House is dedicated to lagers.
Right.
Ren House is dedicated to lagers.
right.
They always have a lager on tap.
I don't know. And I mean, silly me and my crazy MBA background. I don't know how I feel about that business plan. We're gonna focus on lagers. Watch us.
Yeah.
Look, stand back, bitches. Budweiser did it.
Little farther down, it says, 2 years ago, you couldn't find an Arizona-made lager. We're trying something new, Mario Jr. said. So,
That's funny because I'm pretty sure I had a lager at Goldwater a couple years ago. Pretty sure I've had a lager at what's that fly-by-night company that's not going anywhere? Oh yeah, Wilderness. Pretty sure I had a lager there a couple years ago.
McFate's been doing lagers forever.
Yeah,
Santan.
Yeah, it's nothing new here.
no. I mean, we literally just talked to people about them doing, listen to the Roll on Woody. Like we talked about doing, we talked to Luke, who's at Wilderness now. They literally had a guy from Germany come to here and help them brew a Hell's lager.
Yeah.
So you're like,
How old's Valley Bear? That's about a year, so that probably doesn't hit the 2-year
That
thing.
might
But
be going on 2 years.
I
think.
mean, the lager thing has been picking up speed with everybody.
if you listen to this podcast at all, when we ask people, what do you think the trend in craft beer is? Everybody's like, I think lagers are taking off.
Right.
And that's not like it's a,
Right.
it's not a surprise to anybody. Lagers, I mean, people like lagers and doing actually a style that everybody moved away from with craft beer, like they shunned it, moving to it and actually being like, we can do that, but we can do it better.
But it's a difficult
makes
business
sense.
model because it takes up more time in your tanks.
Right.
It takes more power because
Cooling gear.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, Goldwater is probably more set up for it than anybody with
Oh,
that.
yeah, with that
I mean,
underground.
They were showing off the whole underground thing and how they put those lager tanks in the shooting
Well, some simple
lanes,
so-
which is cool as hell.
Well, think about it. So this podcast, what started maybe a little bit before that actually happened. When you
Right.
guys went to you guys first met Ed, we were still new into the
it
podcast.
was all
world.
downhill from there.
Yeah, I know, right? And so like that was new. They were doing them then. So yeah, it was just really funny. So needless to say, the social media world of craft beer in Arizona did not disappoint. People lost their shit over this.
yeah, people were
As
very
they should.
upset.
There's been a lot of funny.
But
people-
what did the Mexican beer group on Facebook say about it?
I missed it.
Those guys rule.
Dude, it's too funny. So like, there's just a lot. It was a lot of Facebook hate and a lot of other hate, and people were like, still like, evidently State 48 only brews stouts. They're the first people that brew stouts in Arizona. Like they're just taking it to a fucking whole nother. Like they're basically just like making fun of all the other, like, oh, they're the ones brew stouts. No one else brew stouts.
So State 48 is the hipster brewery in Arizona, I guess. They were doing everything before it was cool.
yes.
But it's one thing to make claims and stand by them, but then they go back and they start backtracking, saying they were misquoted and that the article was poorly written. So they start throwing the publication under the bus. And just, if you're going to build that hill, you better be willing to die on it.
Not too late.
In this day and age, it should be really hard to get misquoted and have it hit the internet.
Right.
Like, we've had people contact us and be like, hey, this isn't information we want people to know yet. Nothing bad, really, but it's like, hey, can you pull that? Hey,
Right.
we're not ready for this kind of stuff. And so
I guarantee you they got this article before it came out, right? Somebody must have, I send stuff to people beforehand. So
Yeah, we always send the raw edit of this to who's going to be on the show and be like, listen to this. You know, we've had a couple beers. Might want to listen to this completely sober and let us know if you want to freaking strike anything from the record.
Yep. Yeah, it's just funny. Like, again, and these people, State 48's not new. They're not a new brewery. It's not like they just came into town. They have no idea what the craft beer scene is here. They've been here for a while. They know all these places that make these lagers. So, you know, if it was the publication, cool. But if it was them, then yeah, I don't know what to fucking say. But people on social media are fucking having a field day with it. So it just made me laugh. We saw it and we had to bring it up. So
Sounds like State 48's brewing lagers the hard way.
they might be.
well, and then I think the thing that upset people the most was they also were quoted saying that if we didn't brew beer, people would still come here for our food.
Right.
So, like, and a lot of people took that as, oh, well, the beer doesn't matter then. Like, we'll just sell food to people. We don't care. We're just in it to make money. And that, a lot of people lost their shit over that. And a lot of people were trying to defend the brewer. It's like, hey, don't shortchange them. Like, I would be surprised if there was any place other than like a very select few that if they weren't serving craft beer, that they could sustain themselves solely on food.
Right.
Right.
Even some of the best places, like, it's a combination. You can't shortchange one or the other. Like, if you have good food, it complements your beer, and if you have good beer, it complements your food. But don't just say, hey, yeah, we could totally ditch this other part of our business and completely be self-sufficient and
Very
sustainable.
True. Very true.
Very, very cool.
So
All right, guys. Well, it's getting a little.
starting to get busy. There's a dinosaur in here.
Sun's getting low, big guy.
No shit. All right. Anyways, let's wrap this thing up.
I got to do the work to find you, huh?
Yeah. Where can people find us at?
Hoppycraftsmen.beer.
Oh, there
is
you
our
go.
website.
Nice.
Hoppy Craftsmen on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Just a Hoppy Craftsman.
That's correct. That's all of them. Yeah.
Yes, I did it.
Good job.
Yay.
Jeff, who are the raddest fucking people in the world?
Raddest fucking people in the world. I'm going to blow this. I haven't done it in a while. Sorry. A little rusty. Zach Dominguez, Jessica Langley, lovely lady hops, Paul Fragole. So I know that. Paul, hit me up. Jeff the Hoppy Craftsman. Message me. Say, hey, Dick, this is how you pronounce my name.
I think it's pronounced gelato.
I think it's pronounced Paul, first of all.
It's Paul
I don't think there's an R in there.
Fragilio is what I say.
I just say frijoles.
Frijoles.
Or that.
Yeah.
Then we have the lovely San Diego
No.
podcast extraordinaires, the Indie Beer Show. Cena Gomez, Ed's lovely wife. Rob Fulmer, Mark Ballesteros, and Anthony Bracamonte.
Close enough.
Boom.
Man, there you
It's
go.
our Patreon supporters. They're the guys that actually give us money to do this, which surprisingly, it's kind of expensive to do a podcast. So
From talking to Jessica earlier, she knows. She knows now that it is.
Oh, we forgot the biggest news story of the month.
What's that?
I got new headphones and a microphone.
Nobody gives a shit.
I do.
let us know when you got two turntables and a
I was
microphone.
going to say I got two headphones and a microphone.
I think MasterCard cares. That's all they.
right?
Yep. I think this was American Express.
Very cool. So, like Jeff was saying, those are the patron supporters of the show. If you like to be a patron supporter, go to patreon.com/hoppycrafts and we get some tiers. One day I'm hoping that somebody pays for the top tier, which is the $5,000 tier. We get to fly somewhere, drink some awesome beers, do a show from there. It'll be cool.
We'll make it worth your while. We're swell guys. We're tons of fun to hang out and drink with.
Oh, yeah. We got some friends. We got some references. Hit us up. We'll let you know. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. As always, I'm Chris.
I'm Jeff.
I'm Eddie.
Drink local.
Bye.